Back in the building. You know it's your boy Real Vibes TV there in our living colors. As you check in, you know what to do. Like, share, and subscribe. You don't know the new sauce, the new formula. Checking our building the people. Yeah, new segment in our place. So check in. We have a few things we need to talk about. You know that go already. Make sure so the audio connect up on this mic. Yeah. All right. Check. Mic check. All right, we're solid up. Yeah, man, checking our billing the people. Yeah, checking. All right, volume connect up. Yo, people, I want to tell you, last live for me do. Yo, me I tell you, say the audio cheap out at one time. A good 10 minutes, me did there chat, No audio, Might not work, But nonetheless, still people checking our building. Yeah, when we talk about a few things are viral in the media, viral in Jamaica right now, in regards to the Cuban doctor them. Yeah, when you know one bag of thing going on a yard, right? Yeah, like up the live as on rolling the people, please and thank you. Yeah, like up the live. The lights a bit turned down today. Well, I know that go already. We soon pull one and two video up on the screen. So checking our building for me, the people, please and thank you. Yeah, like up a live, people. We soon get into it. Okay. All right, 6 people there so far. Yeah, man, tap up a like button for me, the people, please and thanks. Yeah, man, do the right thing. We have one and two things to talk about today. Probably gonna do an hour live. You don't know nothing too quick, nothing too fast, but yeah, just sweet spot, 1 hour. All right. Yeah, so as we know, people, the Cuban doctor them, yes, so apparently the Caribbean and also other countries around the world, they're expelling the Cuban doctors them right now out of Jamaica. So Andrew Holness, yeah, he just announced, which few days now, like a week to be honest, they never continue with the contract with the Cuban doctors them. And y'all know there's an issue going on with Cuba and America right now. Venezuela can't send the alga Cuba. Mexico can't send the alga Cuba. A one bag of corruption are going along there right now, people. It's like the match of a black hole Cuba, you know what I mean? And consensus kind of split, because the people they must say, yo, 50 years the doctors them in the country assist and help out Jamaica healthcare system. And a lot of people don't know how they feel about this situation, because they must say, yo, why give in to America all the time? But, and a one way reason, because remember good, if you don't give in to America, people, a whole heap of things them can sanction Jamaicans with, can't get visa, can't do no business with America. So I don't know if Andrew Holness are way up all of that, and that's why he came to the decision. He's not renewing the contract with the Cuban doctors them. Yeah, when you talk about dancehall too, yeah, man, dancehall new era. People, they must say, yo, Massacre and Alkaline forget clashing right now. People, they must say, yo, just like how Gully and Gaza set for them thing, yeah, Massacre and Alkaline need to set for them staging, yeah, man, carve out for them space in the dancehall and also get dancehall booming, because you don't know, the clash is a very vital part of the system, whole dancehall thing. So, yeah, man, checking that building the people for me. Like up a life for me, please and thank you. All right, yeah. So enough things to talk about people. I say look at how we go there. Soon pull up a few videos. But we want to kick it out with the Cuba situation. So here we are going now. With the Cuba situation is a very weird one. Because apparently, according to America, America I say when the Cuban doctors them get paid, it doesn't go straight to the Cuban doctors. It go into the system, meaning the Cuban system. And then the doctors them get the leftover. Well, I saw them frame it. We don't know. We can't clarify that or we can't deny it. But there clearly is an effort for hold on Cuba and kind of starve them out. It's like a look of 48 laws of power tactic Trump use. Because if you realize Trump now say he might invade them, him just make sure say no country now do no business with them. But when it comes to Jamaica now, people are say, yo, so what on there? If we not get rid of the Cuban doctors, them, where they have for 50 years, Keyword 50 years. Who are going to replace them? That I talking of people. If you Cuban doctors them there for 50 years, who not tell me who are going to replace them? Checking and building people like up a life for me there. Yeah man, son, Jamaica quick news right here. So my thing is, if Jamaica is going to get rid of the Cuban doctors them, then who are going to replace them? Who's going to be replacing these doctors that's been a staple in our country for so long? I mean, they've been here for 50 years. That's not an easy thing. And right now, to my surprise, a lot of cities right now down a yard, down in Jamaica, they have a shortage of doctors. And when we talk about the war too, people, as I say, get used to the segment. We're going to start off these type of segments when it comes to the world news more often. Every week, you're going to have this segment. So what we're going to do, we're going to build it from today. So when it comes to the news in Jamaica, the world news, the war going on in Israel with Iran and America, we're going to talk about it all. Because a whole heap of thing we're going to affect we as human beings right now. The music is all cool and all, but we have to get to some of these news topics. What people check in. Donovan, big up. You say I try bully countries who cannot fight. See, Iran a beat them bad. They tell you, yo, Donovan, my apologies to you, BG. Donovan, me not gonna lie to you. My apologies to you, BG. Me sorry say I name one day in live there. Me do when me can drop the calling link. We don't know, we have a WhatsApp number set speed. But Donovan, big up yourself, BG, because everything we tell we come to pass, Remember, you did tell we were going to go on with the Iran thing there, And from what me I see on the media, bro, although America said them a win, but they're not really a win, bro. Right now, I'm going to say, I want to thing. We don't want to get into that first, but yeah, let's just say, Donovan, I've been doing my research. And I want to thing I come to the forefront right now. But as you say, some bully thing are going right here, people. Because there's an article released today, I think, on the Jamaica Observer. You know what the article say? There's a shortage of doctors in Jamaica right now. Certain communities can't get the help them want because there's no doctors. But my thing is, tell me, so them just cut the contract with the Cuban doctors like that? Just send them home like that without no contingency plan? Nothing, like, me not understand this, people. It's confusing, Me telling you, say, there's a few articles will come out today with the article I say, yo, there's a shortage of doctors in certain communities now ever since the Cuban doctor crisis start take effect. So right now we see it affect Jamaica right now. Now me see them I say, yo, them a try to source doctors outside of the Caribbean. But my thing is, where are you going to source these doctors from? As me say, one whole heap of thing, a 30 people there. People, please do me a favor, like up a live, please. You don't know me, have a chat open on my phone, so as no comment, we're going to big on up. But everybody we are watching right now, subscribe to this channel right now, Real Vibes TV. We're going to be giving you all the weekly news when it comes to Jamaica and the world news. I love this uncompromising Jamaica accent. What you say right there? Big up yourself, Mazone, and big up yourself. Yeah. Definitely not compromise accent. We still have the accent, but we have to speak a little bit of English so the wider audience can understand us, right? So for the one that's just rolling in the building right now, I want y'all to know this. We're going to be giving y'all the weekly news when it comes to Jamaica and across the world. We're going to break it down. I'm going to pull up a few videos in a moment, so it's not just going to be me here sitting just chatting all day long. We're going to be pulling up some news article and we're going to be giving out our perspective on everything that's going on in Jamaica and the world. Yes, so big up to everybody that's checking in right now. I appreciate y'all. So as I said, we need to get to the Cuban crisis that's going on because Jamaica is expelling the doctors that's been here for 50 years. And even though me know that the American government is applying pressure, I don't think it's right what Andrew Holness done. Without no credible explanation. That's my thing, If you're not going to do something, we have to give you some credible explanation. Because remember, we say Mark Rubio come to Jamaica. You don't know, say, he's in Trump cabinet. And then a couple weeks after that, we just noticed that the article drop and I say, yo, Cuban doctors expelled from Jamaica. The contract never renew. No. They've been here for 50 years, so we owe them some sort of loyalty, right? So me know the game going on. I'm a Nigerian born in Jamaica, so I have great admiration for Jamaicans. Hey man, big up Nigeria, man. Big up the Yoruba tribe and all of the tribe over Nigeria. Big up yourself, my G. So as me say, it's a whole lot of things to talk about when it comes to the Cuban doctor crisis in Jamaica, people. Cause with Andrew Holness though, even though me understand that he's under pressure, I don't think he made the right move. Because guess what? You can't make other countries just a bully you like that. No. We can't make that go on. Because remember, once you give in to them once, then they're forever going to be bullies. And that's the problem with America. We understand it, say they might come under a lot of pressure, but I just one of them thing there. So like up a life for me, the people, we soon get into it right now. We're going to pull up some article. As I said, we're not going to be here chatting all day. We're going to pull up the articles and everything like that. So make sure you want to like, share, and subscribe as on the roll in. Big up on the damn self. Please like up a live if y'all haven't done so already. So we see Donovan comment earlier, and I see some bully thing are going right now, but there's a lot of little nuances to it, So we're gonna get into it right now. So big up on yourself, people. So we're gonna be showing y'all some videos in a moment. Give me a second. The camera gonna go dark for a sec. So we need to grab it off the stand. So check in the building, people. Check in. Okay, so we're gonna start it here very simply, people. We're gonna put it on the first article right here that's causing all of the controversy. So what do we see right here? What do we see right there, people? What is on the screen? Cuba speaks on Jamaica decision to end medical program after 50 years. So even the Cuban system responded to what Jamaica done. But again, that's not going to be our first article. We need to get to the Jamaican article that all started all of this. Yet it's very wrong. I mean, the people must be here for 50 years. And you know the worst thing to viewers and subscribers? America never bring their doctors to Jamaica. Them never say, okay, get rid of the Cuban doctors and we're going to give you all 50 to 100 doctors to replace them. Them never said that. They never give Jamaica a solution. We don't know what was mentioned in closed door, but we know for a fact that Jamaica was bullied to make this decision. That is a fact right there. We know that Jamaica was coerced to do what they done to the Cuban doctors that's been here for 50 years. No, I don't think that's right. I don't know what to thinking of viewers and subscribers, but that is not right at all. So we're trying to go back to the original article. Give me a second right there, people. We need to draw back for the original article because there's quite a few of them. But okay, so all right, so Jamaica already start to point the fingers. So we can see right here, Jamaica points finger at Cuba for medical program collapse. And the article read, Jamaica has blamed the Cuban government for the discontinuation of the long-running medical program under which doctors from that Spanish-speaking country work here, saying that Havana failed to agree to terms that conforms to Jamaica law and international convention. So again, I'm going to read it over. Jamaica has blamed the Cuban government for the discontinuation of the long-running medical program under which doctors from Spanish-speaking country work here, saying that Havana failed to agree to terms that conform to Jamaican law and international conventions. So what they're telling us right here, them are trying to make it seem as if there's a conflict of interest and also the Cuban system is not conforming with the law of Jamaica and also the international law. Because remember what me telling you at first, Donald Trump and his party said that Cuba is not paying these doctors fairly. Apparently, say for instance, you have 50 doctors in Jamaica. The money don't go straight to their account. The money goes straight to the Cuban system and then trickle down to the doctors. But the real question is, when has America care about morality when it comes to people getting paid? I don't really understand that. When has Jamaica, when has, my mistake, when has America cared about another country and how much their doctors or whoever get paid? We know that this is not what it seems on paper. It's bigger than what we're seeing right here. So Jamaica say, oh, they didn't agree to the terms that conform to Jamaica law and international conventions. But I mean, they have been in your country for 50 years, according to the article. And we know for a fact that the contract wasn't for 50 years. It's probably like a 5 years or a 10-year contract that renew every decade or every 5 years. Come on. Mark Rubio flew down to Jamaica. We see Andrew Holness and Mark Rubio together in a picture, and they was having conversation in the public and also behind the scenes. As me say, a lot of things we are going to reveal, people. Because Andrew Holness also posted something on Twitter where he said he stand up with the Cuban people, and an American politician basically said, word for word, Jamaica are going to face the consequences for the speech that Andrew Holness said on Twitter, where he said he stand and support the Cuban people. So you see right here, there's an effort. There's an effort, literally, if you hold down the Cuban ecosystem, which we all know that. Because remember, Venezuela can't ship no oil along there. Mexico can't really assist them. And at time, probably in the next week, we're going to hear so the whole system in Cuba just drop. Because remember, the people them are suffer right now, and weirdly enough, is not making news. No notice what's going on in Cuba right now. It is not making no news. Dana Vanna say, Cuba is part of the Caribbean, so what US is telling us to abandon Cuba is like telling California your doctors cannot work in Arizona. Bullshit. Of course, my G. Facts. Facts. My thing is, Dana Van, we shouldn't be bullying, America shouldn't be bullying Jamaica to make any decisions. That's what I'm there with the reason. America don't have a right to bully us to make any decision. These doctors has been in Jamaica for over 50 years. 50 years. So as somebody said in the comments, so he took 50 years to make this discovery. You don't see what I'm going right here. So you have thinking high IQ people here. So you're telling me that it took 50 years for them to make this discovery? And the same thing me I said before me see the comments. Like up alive, people. If you're new here, over here on Real Vibes TV, I'm going to start giving you all the weekly coverage on the news, what's going on in Jamaica or across the world. We also cover dancehall over here as well. So we're building the platform slowly but surely. So y'all can subscribe right now and turn on the post notification bell. Because the music is all cool and all, but guess what? Sometimes we have some pressing matters that go on in the country and nobody now give no coverage. Right now we have 40 people here that wants to know what's going on in Jamaica, what's going on across the world. So again, we covered Hurricane Melissa and we're just back to the basics right now, mixing and matching it with the music. So this administration think we're all slow. No, and then what are we slow? So here we're going to move on with the article. Because again, a lot of key information. So amongst the concerns identified was the fact that Cuban personnel were not in possession of their own passport. So that's also another critical point that Jamaica is saying, that the Cuba system is not conforming with their laws and international laws. And America been saying the same thing, that when these Cuban doctors go to this country, they don't have them passport. It's like America is basically saying that these Cuban doctors and professionals that go outside and work for Cuba, they're being coerced. They're not going on their own free will. And even if they go, they're not getting the full amount of monetary gains they should be getting. So right here, Jamaica say among the concerns identified was the fact that Cuban personnel were not in possession of their passports. The government also discovered that salary payments for Cuban medical personnel, while calculated at the same level as their Jamaican counterparts, were being made by Jamaica to the Cuban authorities in US dollars. I'm going to rephrase that right there. So the number one concern was that the Cuban doctors was not in possession of their passports, and also the government also discovered that salary payments for Cuban medical personnel, while calculated at the same level as their Jamaican counterparts, were being made by Jamaica to Cuban authorities in US dollars. Remember, say US dollar, the world reserve currency. So right now, every country would like to get paid in US dollars. Yeah. So right there, we can see that Jamaica, even though they knew this stuff before, they knew all of this before, this is nothing new, because I really want to bring this point home to Uno. This is nothing new. Jamaica been knowing, say, I saw Cuba go to work. And there is some truth to this story right here, definitely. But we all know that a pressure we have come down from America while Jamaica are choose to end the partnership with Cuba. We know this. This is nothing new. This is nothing new at all. But I want to understand this. Jamaica is going to face the consequences for this as well. Because the article I'm going to put up very soon, you have people in communities in Jamaica right now that's complaining, saying that there's a lack of doctors. They can't get them appointment. I mean, that kind of says a lot right there. If you're going to cut the contract with the Cuban doctors, if you're not going to renew the contract, why you not source other professionals, medical professionals, yet bring them to Jamaica? Why you not source? And most importantly, where are y'all going to get these new medical professionals from? Because we don't want any ethnicity in our country. Because some of these medical professions from across the world, you have to be very skeptical of them, At least with Cuba, we can say Cuba is our neighbor. At least with them, we can say that we and them have somewhat of a similar culture. And remember, we have history with them as well. Remember Michael Manley. Remember, people, don't be afraid to comment. We have 53 people here. Y'all can comment. We're giving y'all some breaking news in Jamaica right now. So we're going to move on to the next article right here. So also we see another article will come out, where the Cuban authorities basically responded to Jamaica. This one is different. Sorry about that. I'm going to go to that one in a minute. But also the Dominica to revise Cuban medical program amid US criticism. The government of Dominica says it will soon announce changes to its long-standing Cuban medical workers program. Speaking in Parliament, Dominica Foreign Affairs Minister Dr. Vince said there are about 65 Cuban medical personnel serving in Dominica. He did not disclose details of the coming changes. So you can see right here, and not just Jamaica, I review the terms for the Cuban doctors is right across the Caribbean. Because what you don't know, the Jamaica, the whole Caribbean, Barbados, all of these countries, Trinidad, they depend heavily on outside medical professions. Guess why? Jamaica government and some of these Caribbean governments, they don't want to train up their own people. That's why in our country, there's a thing saying in Jamaica we have a brain drain. You have so much professionals that leave Jamaica because there's no opportunities. Because remember, in a Jamaica case, me can't speak for Dominica. In a Jamaica case, we have the talent, we have a lot of intellectual and smart people that's doctors and lawyers and teachers. But guess what? A lot of them leave the countries in the thousands, not the hundreds, in the thousands, because there's no opportunities. You know what the Jamaican government mostly prioritize? They prioritize themselves and foreign investment and tourism. Remember when Hurricane Melissa happened, they had to bring a lot of professionals from Canada to help get the grid back online, the electricity grid back online. Because a lot of the times, these big businesses in Jamaica, them feel to train up the citizens of the country because they want to save money. But yet still, they spend millions of dollars to get electricians and cable people from Canada to come help put the grid back online. And don't get me wrong, of course, sometime we're going to need help. Of course, we're going to need help sometime. But guess what? It's a reason why so many Jamaicans leave the country, because there's no opportunities. Y'all know how much Jamaicans is also in the Caribbean? Another first world country they go to. Think about it, how much Jamaicans is in Canada. How much Jamaicans is in USA, Britain, Europe, also many smaller islands in the Caribbean, because there's a lack of opportunities. Even though, Jamaican people are very smart. A lot of us graduate school in Jamaica with our 10, 12 subjects. But guess what? When we finish high school, there's a lack of opportunities because the Jamaican government is not prioritizing the right thing. Them sell out everything. Them focus too much on foreign investment. How is it that we're so rich, but yet still we don't have certain industry? If anything, Jamaica is on the decline. Even worse now, Hurricane Melissa happened. Remember, Hurricane Melissa possibly put back Jamaica back 10 years, I want to understand this, So there's a lot to it, people. So as y'all can see, even Dominica is trying to say that they're reviewing the Cuban medical program amid US criticism. Me not like this, because me know say the US government, they're not thinking about the Cuban people. God knows what they want to do in Cuba. And that's just the truth. So another article here, Cuban exit backup plan. Tufton urges patients worried over end of medical cooperation program. So this is the question we need to be answered. So now that Jamaica is going to get rid of the Cuban medical professions, what are them backup plan? What are they planning to do? Donovan, big up yourself in the chat. Donovan, I say, Hose Marty High School was built by Cuba. Wow, I didn't know that. A few more. So Cuba has been helping us from a longer time. So Jamaica should stand up with Cuba, but we are too cowards, simple. You're right. But we have to reason it two sides, no, Donovan. Remember, say Jamaica have a lot to lose, Remember, a lot of our professionals depend on America, even for business. Remember, when that thing go on at Tivoli with Dodos, and Jamaica government didn't want to give over Dodos to the American authorities. Remember, they started taking away people visas. People don't understand. Majority of Jamaican business comes from America. A lot of businesses in Jamaica depend on America. Even our tourism system depend on America. So we in America is locked in. We're tied in. But Jamaica should understand we need to start be more independent. And people, this is Real Vibes TV, a very intellectual young man. I'm going to start going on some reason we're going to make you understand why Jamaica can be doing way better than how it's doing right now. Remember, we are CARICOM, people. We have CARICOM. That's like the European Union version of the Caribbean. Remember, by ourselves we are small, but guess what? We're in a collective. You have Barbados in a CARICOM, Trinidad, Jamaica, one bag of country in a Trinidad. They should be doing businesses between each other. Don't depend on these so-called superpower countries, because in the end, like America will neglect Jamaica in no time, quick and fast. And also America have this thing where they like to bully people. Cause notice, they try to get Jamaica to review the Cuban medical program, but they didn't give Jamaica no alternative. They didn't say, okay, here is 50, 30 of our doctors. We didn't see anything like that. So that's how them go to work, because them know the leverage with them hold against Jamaica. They know how they can cripple Jamaica overnight. America like to do this thing, where them start fling sanctions on people. Yes, keyword, sanctions. When America start to fling sanctions on you, you have to strong fit up, Remember how they try to cripple Russia, You see, if Russia wasn't a big country, Russia would have on its knees right now. Remember, America now if invade your country militarily, America can simply say, okay, we're going to take you out the SWIFT system. If you don't know, the SWIFT system is the world banking system. One thing America can do and cripple your economic for life if you don't listen to them. America don't have to invade you. Nowadays, the mind games that's being played by these superpower countries against smaller countries is wicked and evil. That's why I go back to the conversation and say, Jamaica, the CARICOM, y'all need to start doing business more between each other. CARICOM is the European Union version of the Caribbean. Remember, Guyana just find a whole heap of oil. They start drilling and sending off millions of barrels of oil across the world already. Jamaica have bauxite, we make aluminum, one of the most critical resources in the world. You need alumina to do almost everything, because they make pots, they do a whole heap of thing. Very critical for many industries. By ourselves, we're small in the world, but guess what? I have always said this. You see, CARICOM, as a collective, as a unit, we can be a force to be reckoned with within the world standing. But guess what? Our people don't come together. They don't understand unity. Remember, we have our brothers in Africa also, So if we come as a unit, as CARICOM, as a body together, we're in agreement, unity. We can link up with our brothers over Africa. We don't always have to trade 80% of the time with America, because the thing is, once you start putting most of your trade in America, and say you depend on them 80% of the time, they're not gonna have too much leverage over you. You have to spread out the leverage. You cannot depend on a country so heavily. You cannot. Yeah. Michael, I don't know if you hear me clearly, but no coward business. What me I try to tell you, me not agree with what Jamaica do to the Cubans. I don't think it's fair. I mean, they've been here for 50 years and they help so much. And apparently they don't just help in the medical sector, they help in many other sectors. So I don't think we should abandon them right now in them worst times. Cause remember, they're going through a lot right now. Again, as I said, they have no oil. Right now, majority of the country is in darkness. We now see it on the media, but remember, Venezuela can't ship no oil today. Mexico cannot really help them like that. So they're really suffering right now. So Michael, be careful. I don't know if you are listening to the live or if you just jump in. No, we're not in agreement with what Andrew Holness did. So you need to get that straight. You see me? But y'all need to understand, because when I speak very intellectually. I'm going to revise the statement I made. As Jamaica, we're weak. But as CARICOM, which CARICOM involves multiple Caribbean nations, as CARICOM, we're stronger. We cannot take on the world by ourselves. We cannot, we're like a speck in the world by ourselves. Jamaica by itself is like a speck in the world. Barbados by itself is a speck in the world. Trinidad by itself is like an ants in the world. But together as a collective unit with all our individual resources, them have to put respect on we name. And also, we're going to have leverage. Because that's what the world is all about, having leverage. Very important. You real talk, Africa should be the Caribbean main contact, not USA or EU. Of course, 100%. 100%. And also, you know, Donovan, I don't know if you know what going on in Jamaica, you know. Jamaica, I start for import more than them export right now. Enough things that Jamaica used to make by themselves, them start for import it. And we know say once a country start to depend upon more imports than homegrown, that country is going to be in trouble. Because when there's a war in the world, you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in trouble. So, a lot of the critical industry where Jamaica used to have, they need to bring them back. Get back the farming back in Jamaica. Remember, you know, our land is very fertile, you know. Get the ganja business booming in Jamaica, because again, the world, I wake up to this thing also and I realize that it's a product. And Jamaica have a good branding when it comes to that sector also, the ganja segment. People don't understand how rich and wealthy our country can be, but guess what? We have the wrong leaders in place. That is the problem. Decade after decade, nothing has change. That's the main problem. But we don't want too much go on a tantrum because we need to get through this Cuba thing. Yeah. So, Cuba withdrawing medical staff from Guyana over medical program dispute. So remember, me just showing Jamaica, just showing Dominica, and now Guyana, yeah, them a review the medical program and they basically getting the Cuban doctors out of their country. So on see what America is doing right here, right? So we mentioned Jamaica. Y'all see the news article on that. No, Guyana do it and Dominica do it. And I think Trinidad is also doing it. Because remember, when it comes to the Cuban society, they have very good medical doctors, very good medical professions. Not even first world countries can beat some of their doctors. They're very well educated people. But again, the question is, when them get rid of the Cuban doctors, who is going to be the replacement? What countries are these doctors and medical professions are going to come from? Because them not going to come from Jamaica. Them not going to come from Barbados, because we don't have that talent pool to pull them from. Keyword, talent pool. We don't have the talent pool to pull them from. So the article reads, Cuba is preparing to withdraw its medical brigade from Guyana after the IRFAAN Ali administration moved to pay doctors and nurses directly instead of sending most of the payments to Cuban government. Guyana Health Ministers Frank Anthony made the announcements on Monday. He told the media that Cuban authorities ordered the brigade of more than 200 doctors to prepare to leave the South American nation. So again, one of the concerns that Jamaica had is that the money was not going directly to the doctors. And that's what I can say. Because Cuba want to pay them directly, that's causing a problem. But I saw me know it work all across the world, you know. It's normally your government, you know, in most countries, you know, that if them send you across the world to do like a program or put you in a professions across the world, the money normally filter through them. But I get it, you know, me get it. Of course, the Cuban system not perfect, but me just find it strange because these doctors has been in the Caribbean for so many years. So why no? This is a question, you know, people. Again, me not say right, you know, because again, Cuba probably not paying the doctors as how they should get paid. But I'm saying it's not just what we're seeing on paper, you know. Because I'm asking the question, why no? I mean, according to the article, you know, 200 Cuban doctors in a Guyana, you know. And if Guyana is willing to get rid of these 200 doctors, who is going to replace them? Winifred. Oh my God. Winifred, you hit the Winifred, the comment there. Winifred, the comment there. Winifred Forbes, the comment there. I hope you see what I go on. I cannot go into that topic too much because of YouTube, but Winifred Forbes, you see that comment you just made? That comment is going to fly over a lot of people's head. It shows me right there, Winifred Forbes, that you know what's going on. You have to put Jamaica first. And again, in a Linton, I don't want nobody to mistake the reason. I understand why Jamaica has to do what they have to do. Because again, America have too much leverage over Jamaica and other Caribbean island. But what I'm saying is we cannot afford to be dependent on America and these other countries. CARICOM, get on the shit together. But Winifred, that comment you made right there, it's gonna fly over a lot of people's head, but because of YouTube purposes, we can't go too deep in it. But I do agree with your statement. Again, we don't want no doctors from no faraway country that we and them culture don't go together. Very important. Jamaica, Guyana, Dominica, do not source no doctors from some of these countries because we and their culture do not align. Very important. We don't have the same culture with some of these people. And some of these people are spies too. So a lot of people feel like, so, oh, Jamaica can just get rid of these doctors. Oh, Dominica can just get rid of these doctors and that's just going to be it. No. This is merely the beginning. Then I want to say real vibes, you just hit the nail on the top of the leaders are weak. Yeah, the leaders them are weak. We bow too much, bro. We bow too much. We don't need them. Remember say Michael Manley stand up brawling with Fidel Castro back then, you know. I true people don't know the history, you know. I can't go too deep because it's gonna fly over a lot of people's head. Remember say Manley and Fidel Castro this stand up brawling together back then. Hand in hand back then. I defend them freedom. I think now Manley make a speech and say, I rather walk around the world on my feet than crawl around the world on my hands. Because again, for some reason, when you're linked in with America, it's like they don't treat you as a fair partner. It's like they more want you bow to them system. But there's a lot to it. But the key question idea, people, if Jamaica and these other rest of Caribbean islands get rid of these doctors, where are they going to get 250, 100 doctors from? What culture are these doctors going to come from? That are the question we need to answer. And who are these people? Because remember, some of these doctors from some of these countries can be creepy, you know? Yeah, factually. So Guyana, no one know do. People like up a life for me, please. If you're here enjoying the content, again, if you're new here, we're gonna be giving y'all the weekly news updates on what's going on in Jamaica and across the world. So subscribe to the channel and big up on yourself. And don't be afraid to comment. Over here, we are a family. Right now, Barbados has the best prime minister in Caribbean, Miss Moya Mali. So you're saying right there, Donovan, Barbados didn't get rid of the Cuban doctors. Let me know what's going on there. So we're going to go to this article right here. So boom, people. So look at this article here. The government casts eye globally to plug Cuban doctors gap. What? Holness administration is pursuing a strategy of aggressive global recruitment as it looks to plug the gap caused by the discontinuation of the Cuban medical program in Jamaica. So you're telling me that you never source no doctor? You just cut the program, get rid of the Cuban doctors, send them back home, and you never source no doctors. So who is gonna fill the gap Remember, according to the article, 50 medical professionals leave Jamaica, back to Cuba already, and you're telling me that they didn't put nothing in place. They didn't source any medical professions. Like, I'm confused. Me not understand this. So, Holness administration is pursuing a strategy of aggressive global recruitment as it looks to plug the gap caused by the discontinuation of the Cuban medical program in Jamaica. Huh? What? Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton says recruits are being targeted from Nigeria and Ghana. So right there, them just answer one of the questions. So them are planning to source medical professionals from Nigeria and Ghana. Again, we give them some credit for that. But when they come to Jamaica, we're gonna have to see how they're going to kind of match with the culture also. But big up to Nigeria and Ghana. That's a good one right there, Two country that we have history with, and a lot of us in Jamaica is actually from the Ghana and Nigeria lineage, the Yoruba lineage. Yeah. Big up yourself, Seri Ta Vincent. Big up yourself. Subscribe to the channel, giving you all the weekly Caribbean news, Jamaican news, and world news. Giving you all the critical updates. We do dancehall music coverage as well, but you don't know. We have fully decided now that we need to start get more active with some of these new coverage. So as y'all can see right there, Jamaica government casts eyes globally to plug Cuban doctors gap. So it's quite strange to me, people. I mean, they knew that they wasn't going to renew the contract, and yet still they didn't put any contingent plan in place. They didn't source the doctors prior to getting rid of the Cuban doctors. I don't understand how a government can do this, but very weird. I mean, 50 medical professionals to leave the country is not a small amount. So I don't know if they're going to expect probably the Jamaican doctors or whatever doctors that's in Jamaica right now to fill the gap and do overtime, but we know that's not feasible. Because when it comes to the medical profession, it's not easy to replace 50 people overnight. So again, there's going to be a lot of misappointments. There's going to be a lot of disadvantages to come from Jamaica getting rid of the Cuban medical contract. Very sickening. Not about the doctors. Maya Manley is not a soft prime minister. She stand up against oppression. Me hear that? Me hear that for real now, Donovan. Me hear that. So, again, very weird one. So someone in the comments is saying that have the Cubans been offered the personal contract as yet? So what's happening also? The government is also trying to give them personal contracts. So it's not a case where they're just saying we're not renewing the contract. They're offering them individual contracts, and we don't know how much of them is going to take this contract. But more than likely, if they do take the contract, they probably cannot return back to Cuba. But then again, they have their family and their whole life in Cuba, so it's a very sticky one. So I don't see much of the Cuban doctors taking the personal contract, which is quite strange. So, okay. I'm the king. Big up yourself for the YG. Big up your damn self. Active. Been a while now, my G. Big up yourself. But they are going to mix the dancer with a little bit of news coverage. I don't know the news segment for get the channel booming. So big up yourself, Omni. Active in my G. So I don't know if any of y'all have any personal experience in Jamaica right now where there's a shortage of doctors, medical professionals. Y'all can put in the comment section, let me know what going on. Has there been a shortage in your communities? What's going on? Also, remember we just had Hurricane Melissa, so to me, it's even going to be worse. I mean, if y'all get rid of 50 medical professions and we just went through one of the worst natural disaster in Jamaica and the Caribbean history, I mean, this is going to be a trickle-down effect. It's going to be a big disadvantage to Jamaica. We see what go on. Yeah, man, Omni King, no joke. You see everything what go on, but big up yourself, BG. Yeah, man. Active. Yes, so Cuban medical personnel being offered stay option, say Tufton. So Health Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton on Monday sought to ease public concern over the future of Cuban medical personnel in Jamaica. So not only that we're concerned, the citizens of the country is also concerned. Cuban medical personnel in Jamaica saying that some of them currently serving here will be offered the option of individual contracts if they wish to stay. We know that right there, so now sell dreams. Yeah, a lot of dream selling right there. He also outlined long-term plans to recruit additional staff locally and internationally to prevent gaps in public health systems as the long-standing state to state program comes to an end. So again, further clarification, there will not be no renewing of the Cuban contract. They're completely getting rid of it. And they did mention that they're offering personal contract, but come on, man, they're not going to take it because they're locked in with the Cuban system. So Omnia say on a narrow scale, the government make a bad decision, but on a wider scale, in my humble opinion, it's a good idea. What you say is a good idea, Omni King? Because remember, it's not like I said these Cuban doctors wasn't good at their job, When you talk about Cuban doctors, they're world renowned, you know. They're some of the best doctors in the world, and remember, we have a history with them. If you didn't know, they've been in Jamaica for over 50 years. So when you said it's a good idea, if you kind of give me more explanation when it comes to that, G, give us some pointers where we can probably agree and respectfully disagree on. We drop your back like water the car. Throat I get dry the people. People remember we got a super chat button working as well. So if y'all want to send a donation, y'all can do that. Just click the dollar sign in the comment section if you all enjoying the program. Again, we know that news is not always exciting, but it's something that we need to do because we do enjoy doing the news coverage as well, mixed with the musical stuff. So yeah, man. So y'all can support the channel also. So Omni King can give you some points where you say it's a good idea. Me personally, me do understand if the doctors are not being fairly paid by the Cuban system. Me definitely sympathize if that was the case. Cause we not hear no doctors come out and complain, But that's what America is running with. That's the agenda they're running with. Kinda saying that to the Jamaica government and also other Caribbean governments, saying that's one of the reasons they should get the Cuban doctors out if they're not being individually paid. So something all right, so boom. So this read, it was very explicit when we announced the discontinuation of negotiation that those Cubans who are here would be offered individual contracts if they so desire. It's entirely up to them, and so it depends on what they say and what they are willing to do. We're offering the opportunity for them to remain. So again, very strange one. Okay. So someone in the comments is saying that if persons were listening attentively and not just reading headlines, they would have heard this a long time ago. The program is being discontinued, but Cuban, just like any other migrant, are free to apply for work permits and work in Jamaica. Okay. Yeah, so that's what's going on right there, people. So again, the citizens are concerned. You know what I mean? They got rid of 50 doctors with no contingency plan. Them said them a recruit aggressively over Nigeria and Ghana. But I guess we're gonna have to give this a bit more time. Cause one thing we know about the Jamaican Observer, they're gonna give us some updates. Yeah, they're gonna most definitely give us some updates on what's going on with this aggressive recruitment in Nigeria and across the world, according to Christopher Tufton, which is the health minister. So, according to Christopher Tufton, they're aggressively recruiting medical professions internationally. And notice, They only gave us two countries, Nigeria and Ghana. So let's see if any of these medical professions is going to come from a certain country in the Middle East. Yes, let's see. Because with some of them places that where they want to recruit doctors from, I don't trust some of these places. So we're gonna get some we're gonna get we're gonna play some videos as well, people. Okay. See, we're gonna get some perspective from some other people, see their perspective on this whole Cuban thing. So let's get a perspective from this guy right here. So Jamaica Cuban doctors and nurses. So also, it's not only doctors, it's also nurses, as I said, medical professionals. So Jamaica is gonna have a shortage of medical professionals, which at this time, I don't know why them choose to end it right now, but we know that it was pressure from the Jamaican government. But we'll play that video.
Let me ask you a question. Everybody online is saying Jamaica bowed down to the United States when we ended the Cuban doctors program. But let's slow down for a second. Because for almost 50 years, Cuban doctors helped keep parts of Jamaica healthcare system alive. Now, suddenly, the program ends, right when the United States start putting pressure on countries using Cuban medical missions.
Okay, so again, very key point I want y'all to understand here. The doctors has been here for over 50 years. It's only since the pressure started to apply from the American side, we see that Jamaica and other Caribbean islands is not willing to renew the Cuban medical contract. That's when we see them kind of booting out the Cuban medical professionals outside their country. We don't know what the American government promised these countries. We don't know what was said behind the doors, but we know it's something right. And I don't think it's fear because they've been here for 50 years regardless. And yes, they're offering them personal contracts, but come on, that right there is a smoke screen. We all know that.
So the question is simple. If the pressure was real, what exactly was Jamaica supposed to do? Because people like talk tough online. Don't bow down to America. This America, Mary Maca, this, that, all of that. Stand up to America. Don't bow. Okay. But what?
No, we cannot disrespect America. America is one of our biggest trading partner. So again, do not get this conversation misconstrued, people. America is one of Jamaica's biggest trading partners. Yeah, there's no such thing of disrespecting America or getting rid of them. We just need to source and do business with other countries, not just America, because we cannot afford to be doing, so for instance, 90% of business with America. That's too much leverage. You have to spread the leverage out and also CARICOM, getting the shit together. Yeah, we have CARICOM in the Caribbean, just like the European Union, so there's no reason why y'all shouldn't be a powerful force to be reckoned with across the world.
Happens after you refuse? If Jamaica said no to the United States, think about it. Would Jamaica face visa restriction, economic pressure, trade consequences, or diplomatic isolation? And if that pressure came down hard, who would stand beside Jamaica? Definitely not England. Would the CARICOM step in? Would the Caribbean unite and protect Jamaica from America? Would another country send hundreds of doctors overnight? Or would Jamaica be left alone standing? Because it's easy to shout, don't bow, but leadership means asking the harder questions. If Jamaica resists a superpower, do we have the power to survive the consequences? Because tourism can't keep Jamaica afloat. So let me ask.
Y'all realize, he's making the same points I've been making. When it comes to America, they're the world number one superpower. You can't just be like, oh, you gotta stand up to them, even though we shouldn't be coward. It's like a game of chess. You have to maneuver this thing as a chess, but my thing on a morality basis, we can't just abandon Cuba like that. I mean, they've done a lot for us, Our history is also tied together. Big up, Doggy Willis. Subscribe. Winifred, I say, yes, we want to hear what the Cuban did after so many years working in Jamaica. No fault with us, the people of Jamaica. Okay. Omni King is saying we need Americans' help right now at this point, so it's best to side with them regardless of the decision. And that point, Omni King, me fully understand because again, America don't have to invade Jamaica, They can literally cripple your economy by sanctioning you. So me understand. I understand why Jamaica had to make this decision, but again, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because on a morality basis, yeah, I don't think it's right because these people been here for a while.
You, the audience, this straight honesty and think before you answer. What should have Jamaica done? Stand up to the pressure or protect the country from consequences? This conversation is yours now. Keep it civil, keep it real, and as usual, let's talk. Let me
All right, so we're gonna read a few people perspectives. So again, this is one of the reasons why I'm saying that we cannot depend on America 100% because this is what happened when a country have too much leverage over you. You know, this is what happened when a country have too much leverage over you. They can do as they please. So somebody in the comments is saying, stand up to the pressure. America will keep coming and they will want more and more. The Caribbean needs to unite. It's a tough situation for the government, but if you don't stand up to a bully, they will keep bullying you. Again, that's also another critical point. So Dwayne is saying, this is a time when Jamaicans need to reflect on how we move forward because if the country can dictate who you be friends with, then you might as well call them your leader. It's time Jamaicans realize that partnership should be based on respect and not desperation. Very key point. As long as your livelihood depends on someone, they control you. Again, I hold the same perspective. So again, in all we are going with Cuba right now and Jamaica and America, there is a silent issue there where we depend on America too much, and right now we depend on them probably 90% for our whole economy to survive. For the longest time, Jamaica called for independence from the British. It is time to make it and stand up and defend their independence. It's a tricky one, people, because again, we just go through one of the wickedest disasters. So it's not like say Jamaica can completely just go against America, because again, remember who is in power right now? Donald Trump. And once you go against him, yeah, he can do a lot of damage right now because he's not one of those politicians that kind of keep him mouth shut. Him say what he mean and him do what he want to do. I remember Donald Trump has this thing we call tariff. When him slap a 40% tariff on you, when you have to import your goods in Jamaica into America, you might as well not bother, because by the time you even get paid, it ain't gonna mean nothing. So Donald Trump, I run with this new thing we call tariff, because I remember, when it comes to the American consumers, them spend a whole heap of money. Notice even China, America is one of China's biggest partners, because when it comes to the Americans, them spend a lot of money. A lot of money across the world. So a lot of countries depend on the American consumers because also they have the money to spend. But again, Jamaica, if you just learn to play this thing like chess, you can't depend upon just solely America. Probably have to go start do some business in Africa, in the Middle East, all across the world and spread out your investments, not just keep it in one country. You understand? Okay, so let's get some different perspective going right here, people. So like up a life, many people, please and thank you.
Jamaica just cut ties with Cuban doctors and nurses. But did anyone explain what does that mean for the Jamaican diaspora? Let's have a real conversation here. For years, many of us in the diaspora have been thinking about moving back to Jamaica, retiring, investing, building, reconnecting with the land that built us. But one of the biggest concerns we hear all the time is healthcare. Now we are hearing that Jamaica has ended its arrangement with Cuban doctors and nurses. So here is a fair question to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and the Ministry of Health and Wellness, Jamaica. And people, I want you to share this message because I want them to hear it. What percentage of Jamaica's healthcare workforce did those Cuban medical professionals represent? And now that they are gone, what does the healthcare system look like moving forward? This question is not for a political debate. This question is for the Jamaican diaspora, the people who are abroad who are seriously thinking about returning home. Because if healthcare was already one of the biggest challenges before, what should we expect now? Will there be shortages? Will services slow down? Or is there a new plan already in place to replace those doctors and nurses? The diaspora deserves clarity, not rumors, not speculation, clarity. So respectfully, we are asking the government of Jamaica, give the diaspora a formal explanation. Because if you want people to come home, invest, retire, and build a country, they must understand what they are coming back to.
Again, a lot of critical points is being made, because one of the reasons why a lot of people won't return to Jamaica to even retire is because of the medical system. And now that you have 50 plus medical professionals going to leave the country, what does that say about the future? Because again, you don't just replace 50 medical professionals overnight. No, it doesn't happen like that. And Christopher Tufton, which is the health minister of Jamaica, stated he's going to recruit aggressively internationally, but that doesn't mean nothing. Because remember, these people have to come to Jamaica, get used to our system, and we have to also build a track record with them. Because again, to replace Cuban professionals is very difficult because they're some of the best medical professionals in the world, even better than certain first world countries. So a lot of people don't understand that this is not a case where Jamaica can just say, oh, I'm going to get rid of the Cuban medical professionals and that's it. Because remember, America never give us no backup plan. They never said they're going to bring people to train more doctors in Jamaica or give Jamaicans visa waivers so they can study in America to become medical professionals so they can come back to Jamaica and help build back the economy in the future. We haven't heard anything from America, and people is saying that this has nothing to do with American involvement. 100% it does. Marco Rubio, he's Cuban. And y'all see what's going on with Cuba in regards into America. This has a big thing to do with America. But what we're saying, for the sake of Jamaica and our citizen, I feel that they made a rush decision. Even though I understand that they're giving out personal contracts to these professionals, but I don't say go. Because if these people was taking the personal contracts, they wouldn't need to say that they're recruiting aggressively across the world. Again, rephrase, if these Cuban medical professionals was taking the independent contracts, they wouldn't need to come out and say they're going to recruit aggressively across the world because they wouldn't need to. So it's a strange one. Linzo, big up yourself. This is interesting because I was listening to the BBC news today, and only thing they said was Cuban government was taking a percentage of the wages of the medical professionals. Again, that could be true, but we know when it comes to the system of America and these other countries, and most importantly BBC News, they tend to spread a lot of propaganda. Them people are the last people me I go believe. Big up to YouTube for free speech. When it comes to BBC, El Enzo, you cannot trust those people because they have a track record of not telling the truth. And again, we know that it's not just to do with them not receiving the salary directly. Come on, remember, America, this we are talking about, Remember say a BBC News or that we are talking about now. These people have a track record for allegedly spreading propaganda. Healthcare on your own, Robin. And okay, big up yourself, Phyllis. Omni King is saying if Jamaica stand up against US now, it will definitely plunge the country right into a recession for the next 50 or 100 years. Jamaica have learned to make better decisions. I'm say I definitely understand that, and when me I say, I think this decision was rushed. Cause my thing, Omni, if they're going to get rid of the doctors, they should have something in place. At least push it back 6 months to 3 months, recruit some international medical professionals from Ghana and Nigeria, and then you can end the contract. But you can't just end the contract suddenly with nothing in place. Remember, it's not like we see any medical professionals flying down and coming to Jamaica. They just said they're starting with the recruitment. And remember, we saw the Cuban medical professionals leaving Jamaica airport back to Cuba. So my thing is, it's quite strange that you got rid of so much professionals, but you never have any contingency plan. I mean, I don't know if a country for run like that. People, like up a live, please. Tap the screen twice to like up the live. Okay, so let's continue here.
If Jamaica wants the diaspora to come home, then Jamaica must first tell the diaspora the truth about the state of healthcare going forward. Peter Gracie, and I'm out. Love you. Peace. Jamaica.
Yeah, and that's my thing as well, man. We need transparency. That's my thing with Jamaica, transparency. Dorothy Bowens, Cuba must stay. We want them. Jamaica cannot bow to Trump. Cubans, we love you. Please stay. Trump, if they are not receiving their salary, that's why we that's why we should keep them. What do you mean by that, Dorothy? If they're not receiving their salary, that's how we should keep them. Like up live, people. I'm gonna say subscribe, people. We're giving the daily news here, Jamaica news, world news, and the whole Caribbean news. So again, it's a very pressing matter right now in Jamaica that we need to get to the bottom of what's going on right here. All right. So we already went through this article where Jamaica points finger at Cuba for a medical program collapse, because again, Jamaica is saying that according to the Jamaican law and international law, the Cuban government wasn't willing to follow the law of the land and also international law in regards into the direct payment, and also allegedly holding on to the Cuban doctors them passports. So yeah, take 101, take from that right there. Okay. So a lot of people are saying this going. Yep. A lot of people is saying this is what happened. So this is Andrew Wallace. And the meme goes, Master, the Cubans are gone. Donald Trump is saying, good boy, your visa is safe for now. So let me tell y'all something about this man right here called Donald Trump. He's not somebody to play with. The truth is, if Andrew Holness did ever go against what Donald Trump wanted, Jamaica would be hit with some level of tariffs we've never seen before. Remember, Jamaica have a lot of big businesses in America. When they talk about juicy beef patty, when they talk about a whole lot of industry Jamaica have in America that's doing great, making millions, if not billions of dollars. What Donald Trump loved to do, he would say, for instance, okay, Jamaica, you're not going to listen? We're going to slap 40% tariff on you. That means that anything you ship in the USA, 40% tariff will be on your goods. But again, a lot of people will class that as bullying. But the way the new the new American government is going, that they're putting America first. Keyword, out of Trump own mouth, Trump said he's putting America first. And Phyllis Jackson, that is the question we've been asking all day. Who is going to fill the void? But according to Christopher Tufton, which is the health minister of Jamaica, they are currently sourcing talents from Nigeria and Ghana. And they are recruiting aggressively across the world, according to Christopher Tufton. So I guess we have to give it time. But my thing, Phyllis, why didn't they recruit before if they knew that they was going to end the contract? Because this all seem rushing, notice. All of this seem rushing, because it's not making sense to me. If you're going to end a medical contract and not have nothing in place to replace at least a percentage of these people, how can that make sense when this is health? When you have sick people that need to get treated, when you have people with diseases that need to get their medicine and probably be operated on, people that need to get surgery done. So me not understand that. So this is even putting the health of the country in a state. Like a lot of people will have them surgery or come up or certain procedures coming up. This is going to put them at risk, and this is facts because this was rushed again. There's a video out there where showing that the Cuban medical people them going back home. USA say put America first. The new talk going around USA put Israel first. Yeah, Donovan, you know what go on, yeah, but again, they're putting America first, and honestly, you can't blame America, Me always tell people this. You cannot blame America to put them first because guess what? We will put Jamaica first. So this is where I differ from a lot of people. Me can't blame Donald Trump for doing what do because them have the leverage, them have the consumers. So me can't blame him. You can't blame him. It's a similar logic, If you're an immigrant and you move to America, don't just put your eggs in one basket. Make sure you build one little 2-bedroom house back home. Make sure you have one bank account at Jamaica. Don't just say you just migrate to America. Remember, even though you migrate, you're still not a real citizen of that country because anything can happen at any moment and they choose to deport you. So you can't blame America for putting America first. That's what they should do. It's just that Trump, is different from the other presidents because he's very bold, He say things how him see it and how him want to say it. Him not play games. But this America first thing, yeah, when it comes to certain countries, not Donovan, definitely not America first as you know what going on in one part in the world right now. So Andrew Wellness, again, we have to give it time. And me feel like so we should also stand in solidarity with the Cuban people them because they're going through a lot right now. And again, our neighbors, me must say Cuba is one of the closest country to Jamaica, So me not agree with everything that's going on right now with Cuba. Yeah, I don't agree with it because I don't see them as bad people. I just see them as a set of people that don't want to be controlled. And again, because we're in a certain hemisphere next to a certain superpower, they like to control. Reality, Just like over Russia, Russia kind of different, Russia slightly different, but America right now, I put America first, and also we're in their atmosphere and we're not a big country as them. So of course they're gonna push their weight around. Reality, and again, it's all going back to what I said. We cannot make America have so much leverage over us. Because who's to say that if they're not forcing Jamaica to accept certain other activities and do certain other things behind the scenes? Because if they can make Jamaica just end a 50-year program like this without no contingency plan, I mean, what does that say about our leaders? You see me? And I do agree that we can't always be cowardly. If we have to lose something, we have to lose something. You understand? Yep. Well, anyways, people,
So Jamaica's in their 50-year medical program with Cuba. You see me? And not a people I say, yo, America pressure them to do it. You see me? And I'm a blame JLP government. Listen to me. Andre did the right thing. You know me, I was a beat when you do foolishness, but you do the right thing. Yes, it's so sad we and Cuba are friend and all these things, but guess what? We not equipped for new nuclear bomb and all them something because once you go against Donald Trump a war, and we can't war. We not the technology for dictate no missile in sky where I come to Jamaica. So all them idiot they say shame on Jamaica government and phone business that me no want dead. The cowardice man live and me want Jamaica be a coward. We not fight no war we're not equipped to.
Nah, this guy's being a comedian because this is not about Jamaica fighting a war. No, it's not about Jamaica fighting a war. I mean, we have to also keep our morals as well. We can't just give in to these bigger countries and superpowers. But we do understand the downside to it. Jamaica have a lot to lose. But I just think that if they're going to end the contract, put a contingency plan in place. Recruit from early. Don't just end it like that.
So all in PMP in our power, them have to listen to what US say. We lick about with Talawa, but we not bad like that. The evil orange face man up there. So
Yes, I will stay at Jamaica and keep scrolling and say bombing. No, bombings are go on a yard. We can't take that and just do the right thing. Don't follow them. So Jamaica's in their fifth.
Yep, but again, I see this as a lesson. Jamaica have to learn from this. Because this is fine, you know. I understand when Omni King and other people in the comments saying that Jamaica have a lot to lose. Fully understand that. Fully understand it. But we have to learn from this. I think when I issue with Jamaica, we tend not to learn our lessons. They have to learn from this, start being a little bit more independent. The whole CARICOM need to unite. That's the European Union version of the Caribbean. We have to learn to unite because as a collective, we are very powerful. Again, Jamaica have a lot of natural resources. We have fertile land, can grow food. A lot of countries in Europe can say the same thing. Trinidad have oil. They have a lot of resources also. Barbados have a lot of resources. Guyana just find a whole heap of oil. Them already start to drill. All of these countries are in CARICOM. So all we need to do is come together as a collective and unit. But for some reason, when it comes to black country, we don't like to unite. Explain to me, you know. I'm always asking this question. Why is there not one successful black country in the world? Y'all don't find that strange? Ever since I've been covering Hurricane Melissa and I've been asking this question. Why is that why is there not one successful black country in the entire world? Why is there not one black country that have a successful army? Again, what going right there? What's going on right there? Again, sometimes we can't blame America and blame Britain. Bro, we have to learn to move on from that. You know? Yeah, you have other countries where suffer the same fate as we done back in the past because of slavery, but them manage to elevate further than us. But we know a couple things for fact, you know. Our leaders in some of these countries, them corrupt. Them sell out the country, sell out the airport, sell out the wharf, sell out the toll road, them, sell out our critical infrastructures and everything. Stanley Chung, big up yourself. Subscribe to the channel for your daily news updates. Okay, so we're gonna move on from here. So we hear them say something in a parliament. I think this is regarding to the Cuban thing. So let's see what they have to say.
One final question. Was this decision to renegotiate it influenced any at all by the United States government?
No.
It was not.
Okay, so the big question was asked: was this decision to suspend the Cuban license influenced by America at all? And no, not getting no answer from the JLP party.
This is, we are in an environment where it is clear that there have been concerns expressed by the United States government about the operation of Cuban medical programs across the world. So clearly they had expressed concerns about all programs and accordingly would have expressed concerns about Jamaica. You would have heard us defending the program in various contexts because when they come here, we do our very best to be respectful and ensure that our treatment of them accords with the laws of Jamaica and best international labor law practice. Where the program came into conflict with those things, unfortunately, we were unable to reach agreement on correcting them, and that is why the program has ended.
So we just decided to change the rules of the game after 50 years. Thank you.
However you wish to interpret it is fine.
Yeah, so again, everything I've been saying, so after 50 years, we just decided to just change the rules of the game. I mean, Jamaica is saying that America expressed concern because of the mistreatments of the medical professionals. But someone in the comments is saying the Cuban put out a statement this evening saying that Jamaica terminated the contract because of US pressure. Of course, we all know that. And we understand why, you know. We can't play a fool. We definitely understand why. You know, so again, this is not just happening in Jamaica, it's all across the world. Even I think Honduras government expelled Cuban doctors at US direction. So remember, you know, Michonne said Dominica expelled the Cuban doctors. Guyana is looking to expel 200 Cuban doctors from the country. Jamaica expel over 50 Cuban medical staffs. And now I think this is Honduran. I think this is Honduras. Yeah, Honduras is also looking to do the same. So at the direction of the US, the Honduras government under President Nasri has expelled its Cuban doctors from the country. The doctors were stationed at a free clinic in Colina. So again, it's not just one country, it's a multitude of countries. So we see what the American government is trying to do to Cuba. Again, Donald Trump stated out of his mouth that at any moment now, Cuba is going to fall. I never miss it. That Donald Trump said. But again, what does America has to gain from the fall of Cuba? We need to ask ourselves those questions too. What do they have to gain? Yeah. What do they have to gain? So, a little sidetrack right here. Jamaica possibly gonna start drilling for oil in a few months. So, United Oil and Gas Company highlights Jamaica's strategic location for offshore energy deployment. So this article, I think, is a few days old, you know. For all who don't know, they're currently exploring the possibility of oil being in Jamaica's water. So in the next few months, you know, look out for them start drill for oil in Jamaica. Because me see the article, they said they're in the stage of testing right now to see if there's oil in Jamaica, and trust and believe, them are go find oil. Because again, according to United Oil, a $1 billion, if not a $1 trillion company, you know, them said Jamaica is in a strategic location for offshore energy development. This is what I'm saying, you know. A whole heap of things are going on in the Caribbean and Jamaica that's going over our head, you know, because we're too much focused on the music. Remember, Guyana find a whole heap of oil, what, a year now or a few years now, you know. And Guyana is poised to be the next Saudi Arabia. Remember, right now, you know, because of the war that's going on with America, Israel, and Iran, you know, Iran is threatening to block the Strait of Hormuz. And when you block that particular route, a lot of ship cannot get through. Because a lot of ships need to get to that strait to ship goods all across the world. Like, for instance, the Strait of Hormuz, that's based in the Middle East. If that's blocked, then, for instance, a country like Japan won't get 70% of its oil. China, I think, get 40% of its oil coming through that strait. Jamaica is also affected also because, again, we don't produce our own oil, and most of our oil come from the Middle East. Remember, you have countries like Saudi Arabia that produce most of the raw oil, and also there's another country, I think, called Q8. A lot of these Caribbean countries and countries across the world get their oil from those countries, and they need to pass through the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran is threatening to block the Strait of Hormuz. So for the ones who don't understand the geopolitical things that are going across the world, you have a route in the Middle East called the Strait of Hormuz. If that's blocked, then oil can't pass through, and a lot of critical things what we need as a society to survive, they won't be shipped to these countries. That's why I say right now, oil and everything gone up. Because a lot of these ships right now is stuck in the middle of nowhere because they can't get to the strait because the war are gone. It block already, me G. Yeah, man, them block it, you know, Donovan, but them give certain countries exception for pass through. So even though the strait block already, you know, me see an article and some evidence where Iran is, for instance, giving China and certain other countries permission to go through. And also America is guaranteeing the ships them protection, but a lot of the ships them is scared. And most importantly, the insurance company won't insure some of these ships to go through the strait. Cause remember, if an insurance company go insure a mega ship to go through the strait, and then Iran go bomb the ship and the ship destroyed, then the insurance company going to have to dish out millions, if not billions of dollars to that shipping company to get back their ship. So one of the main issue as well, because the war go on and Iran is threatening to block the Strait of Hormuz, a lot of insurance company won't insure the ships them, which is very critical. That's why a lot of the ships them right now is being crippled and left in the middle of nowhere, because they cannot get the insurance to pass through. You understand? Winifred, big up yourself. It's a pressure. Yeah, so a lot of things are going on right now, even in regards into the world right now, people, that's even affecting a lot of things in the Caribbean right now. Gas prices, everything. So that's why you see, Donald Trump, they go over Venezuela and kidnap the president. That was also because of oil. Because look, it's all making sense now. Know that the war are going on in the Middle East and Saudi Arabia and certain oil producing countries can't ship them oil out to America, the Caribbean, and over Europe. You notice that a lot of these countries have to revert back to Russia, and also they have to get them oil from Venezuela also, because America can't supply these countries by themselves because they don't have that amount of oil. So you see right now, it's a domino effect going on in the world right now. So things that happened prior to the war, we see all that makes sense now, because Trump never just invade Venezuela because of what Maduro did do, or because him care about the Venezuelan people. No, it was because of money, it was because of oil. So now if you kind of keep educated about what's going on across the world, now you see everything that makes sense right now. And this is tying into the topic perfectly. United Oil and Gas Company highlights Jamaica's strategic location for offshore energy development. People, them start to test the isle of Jamaica already. Them drill the isle already, them drill the ground already, Know them in the testing phase, and I think them say we should get the result back in a few months. And trust and believe that result is going to say that Jamaica is ready to drill for oil. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. So, listen, energy security is a key thematic and jurisdiction logistic matter. Offshore Jamaica offers a stable operating environment, often open to foreign investment, sits on a major Atlantic route with access to North America, Europe, and LATAM. Stage 3 piston coring is complete. Results awaited. So all my Jamaicans, all my Caribbean people, when you hear, so the stage 3 piston coring is complete, and now them are await the result. And I'll did it. Because it ain't find much oil in Guyana. I'll the half a shore of Jamaica. Jamaica full of resources. Remember, Jamaica is actually a underwater volcano, if you never know, Yeah. So a lot of natural resources in Jamaica. Trust and believe. Is a reason why the soils are fertile. Again, one of our main exports in Jamaica is backside, because the soil is so fertile too. We're rich. We're rich in our resources in Jamaica. And then a lot of these countries know this. So yeah, enough things are going on when it comes to the oil. But what me I gonna do? Me I gonna show you how important oil is, because oil not just getting your car, You make plastic, cooking oil, natural gas for heating, whole heap of things. So look at this video here.
Who knew crude oil can be refined into so many useful things? First, it's processed in a high temperature distillation tower from the top to the bottom.
So I explain to you here how important oil is and how much out of 1 drilling of oil, a lot of key goods come from oil.
Different substances are separated based on their boiling points. The lightest petroleum gas is the first to be extracted. It's compressed and put into steel cylinders. That's the fuel we use for cooking at home.
So again, from drilling oil, you get petroleum, you get cooking oil from that also.
Next up is gasoline. It only makes up about 20% of crude oil. Yeah, it's what.
So from drilling crude oil, you also get gasoline from it as well. So when them drill the oil, you call crude oil. So you get petroleum from it, and you get gasoline from it also.
Ours almost all modern transportation. Right after that comes naphtha, the unsung hero that's everywhere around us. It's the core ingredient for making plastics. Then there's kerosene.
So you have one component in crude oil called, I think, naphtha, that make plastic. Remember, you know, out of crude oil, we just point out petroleum. You need that for cook. Again, you need that for cook chicken. You can think of it. It's a daily necessity. Also, gasoline for your car, again, goes without saying, very critical for any society that you need to have your lorries and cars moving. And naphtha will make plastic. Again, plastic is in everything. And if you don't have crude oil, then you cannot get that. So again, this is how important oil is. That's why now they start to ramp up drilling in all different countries, because again, America and these other billionaire gas company can't depend on the Middle East no more. Because what's going on in Middle East, you know, they've completely ruined the trust of some of these countries. Down there is never going to be the same again. Never. Remember when it comes to Saudi Arabia, you know, there was practically zero crime, zero violence. And now, it's not a case where Trump just go down there and win on the first day, you know. This can be a forever war, just like Iraq.
It has a higher boiling point and great stability, making it the perfect fuel for airplanes. Below that is diesel fuel.
So in crude oil, you also have diesel. Again, majority of these trucks, these lorries, them still work off of diesel, because diesel burn very slowly. When you ever realize why they can't put not normal petrol in these trucks, it will cost way too much. That's why they use diesel, you know. A lot of these transport vehicles that we use to fill our stores and get goods into the country, lorries bring them in. Very critical. So when you see from crude oil how much things come from it: plastic, petroleum, diesel, one bag of thing.
The lifeblood of heavy industry, it accounts for more than 30% of crude oil. Packs a powerful punch and is commonly used in tractors. Next is heavy fuel oil, which has an extremely high energy density and is very affordable. It's the go-to fuel for ocean-going ships, and what's left at the very end is asphalt, most often used to pave roads and highways.
And also, fun fact, out of crude oil also come asphalt. You know, you think when your car drive on the asphalt, the road, yeah, that also come from crude oil. So y'all see how important oil is. Yeah, very, very, very important. So know that they're drilling for oil in Jamaica. I wonder where the money is gonna go. Cause me hear said the oil with them find in Guyana. Me hear that Guyana is getting less than 10%. Cause remember when it comes to the oil rig, you know, we don't have that infrastructure. Very expensive to even get a oil rig together. I don't think Jamaica even have the capabilities to do that. So that has to be outsourced, and a deal has to be made with one of these foreign companies. And according to my understanding, you know, Guyana is shipping a whole heap of millions of barrels of oil across the world, you know. And they're only getting 10% of the profits, you know. Yeah. Subscribe to the channel again if you're new here. We're giving you all the daily world news when it comes to Jamaica, the Caribbean, you can name it. So if it's not daily, it's gonna be definitely say 3-4 times a week. Or you don't know, we do the dancehall music as well when the time is right. So a lot of things going on in the Caribbean right now, and little update. Jamaica JMD 1.86 billion to fund mid-implementation in 2026. So a lot of magical money seem to be coming in Jamaica right now. So we don't want to overdo it today, people. We don't want to overdo it today at all. We don't want to overdo it today at all. So we just want y'all to subscribe to the channel and look out for the weekly news updates. We're not gonna do it one time. We're gonna do it at least, when I say 3 or 4 times a week when it comes to the news segment. We also cover the dancehall as well, so y'all can subscribe to the channel. But definitely, we're gonna be giving y'all the updates on certain news when it comes to the world and also Jamaica mixed with the music. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we're also gonna cover the war in the Middle East as well, because you don't know a whole heap of things are going. It's just that YouTube is not a full free speech platform at times, you know. But enough things are going on in the world, people. Make sure so you're not saving the money. Make sure so you're stocking up on certain supplies. Cause this war that's going on in the Middle East, God knows what can happen a week or 2 weeks from now. Cause now the war is spreading. The war is not just in Iran anymore. The war is spreading because Iran now give up, you know. Yeah, and America definitely not backing down and they're not negotiating anymore. So again, be aware. You know, don't be one of those people that just walk around the world mindlessly. Be aware of what's going on in the world. The war that's going on in the Middle East right now can spread at any moment and shit can get serious. So make sure say wanna subscribe to the channel and share out the live stream as well and turn on the post notification bell so when I go live y'all get the notification. So Patrick, big up yourself. Donovan, Omni King Didea, Winifred, big up to all of the subscribers, everybody that comment. See y'all on the next one. Possibly look out for tomorrow for some other news coverage. Big up on yourself, subscribe to the channel, like the video as you get out of here. You just need to tap the screen twice to like the video, like the live stream, and catch y'all on the next one. Big up on yourself, you know, people. Until next time.